Welcome back to Talkative Anjali, and there is the prep on my counter. And what do you see? I have a mortar and pestle here showing adrak and lasun and salt in it. So I'm going to mash it up. Then there are green chilies and there is besan. So what are we going to make today? Surprise! Or no surprise? Mashed potatoes over there. So what I'm making is batata vada. As I have made a pav today. So those are my pav ready to be gobbled up, and so you will see those in a different video. And so I'm all set. Now first of all I'm going to mash the garlic and ginger and make a paste of it. And then we will give it a tadka to the bhaji, let the bhaji cool, and then meanwhile we will mix up the besan for batter. So let's get going. So that is pounded. Now I have the paste of adrak, lasan or garlic and ginger, and I'm going to do the tadka. So here's my masala box, and my mustard is mixed up with little bit of masala, but that's fine. And I have my two kadais, one for frying the batata vadas and one for making the bhaji. So let's start by making the bhaji. And you have seen the potato bhaji on my other video, but that potato bhaji and this potato bhaji is essentially different, because that is a celebration potato bhaji which we do not make with adrak lasan paste or ginger garlic paste, whereas for batata vada you can't imagine a batata vada without ginger and garlic. So let's start by adding oil for the tadka. So that's the oil. Yeah, that's enough. About 2 tablespoons. Less than 2 tablespoons actually. Let it heat, and then we will splutter the rayi or the mustard. So how do you like your batata vada? You like it really spicy, or do you like it more like without garlic and onion in it? There are people who don't like the garlicky taste, but that is the essence of a Mumbai batata vada. You can't have a batata vada without garlic. Also I saw Corbin Miles making batata vada today, but essentially what he made, the potato bhaji that he made, it was essentially aloo paratha combination rather than a batata vada mix, because we don't use amchur in our potato bhaji, which is required for the batata vada. So okay, so I'm going to put half a spoon of mustard seeds into the oil, and as it splutters we will add in the ginger garlic paste. And after the ginger garlic paste, in will go the chilies. Take a spoon, mix it up. We will add just a little bit of turmeric, because there was already some turmeric in the masala. And now we will add the potatoes. You don't really need to cook up these potatoes, because these are going to be double cooked anyways. So this tadka is just to be blended into it. We have already added the salt while mashing the ginger garlic, so no need of adding that. Just cleaning up the mortar and pestle with the potato a little bit more. So that we gather everything that is there, right? Yeah, and mix. I had frozen these potatoes, so they have gone a little bit dryish. If you have fresh boiled potatoes, all the better. Just let it cook for about another 5 minutes so that all the color is spread nicely through the bhaji. It smells nice. Usually we don't put kadhi patta, but you know, instead we use a lot of cilantro, chopped cilantro. But today I do not have cilantro at home because we are in lockdown, and you know, people are not coming to the door to sell it, and I haven't stepped out at all for anything in the last 2 months. All my necessities arrive at the door through online orders. So that is how we have been you know, sustaining ourselves through this lockdown. So now we will let the bhaji cool, and then meanwhile we will mix the batter for the cover. Okay, now we will make the batter. I have used half of this bowl of besan. In this I am going to add a little bit of turmeric, a little bit of salt, just, you know, a big pinch of turmeric and a little bit of salt, because you don't want the cover to taste bland. And this potato wala red tub, we are going to use it to later remove fried vadas into it. And this much, about half a spoon of salt into the batter. Now we will add water to it and make it coating consistency. It shouldn't be too thick or too thin, just coating consistency is enough. Okay, so add water slowly. First make a paste and then thin it out according to what you desire. It's quite thick, so we will thin it down. And I always take a small bowl for the batter, because you know, that way we have a control on how much batter we are making. It should not go waste, because usually I've seen many people forget that, you know, they are making only a few vadas and a lot of batter. So if we require, we can always make more batter. This has a little bit of lumps in it, so I'm going to use the whisk to smoothen it. I also usually add a tablespoon of rice flour into the batter, because it gives nice crispness. And I don't add any oil or anything. We don't even add soda. Don't like it. Okay, looks smooth, but let me check if it is the right consistency. Okay, it looks a little thin, so I'm going to add more besan to it. This is the thing about the batter, you know, it always you have to check whether it is the right consistency. You don't want it too thin. It has to cover the batata vada nicely. You know, batata vada was one of my husband's favorite stuff. Yeah, okay. Now the batter seems okay. Still a little lumpy. So we will allow this to sit a little while we shape the batata vadas. Okay, so I have kneaded the potato bhaji a little bit so that it is blended very well, and we don't have, you know, the salt and ginger and garlic sitting in one place. It is well mixed, and we are now shaping the potato vadas. I'm making flat potato vadas because I always use less amount of oil. So you see the level of oil is not so much, and I'm going to use just that. So my vadas are flat to save volume while frying. Okay, done shaping the vadas. These were about 5-6 potatoes. So it has given us 4 and 6, 7, 8, 9 vadas. Oh, 9 vadas in my 9 pav. Nice. So this is fantastic. No extras. That is good. So those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And my 9 pavs. Lovely. Okay, so the vadas have cooled now after shaping. Now we will light up the gas and heat the oil. Let the oil heat up, and then we will fry the vadas. While heating up the oil, remember the gas should be fast at first, so that the oil is hot enough for frying. After that, you turn it down to medium before putting the vada inside. Otherwise, you end up scorching the vada. We don't want that. I always use a cast iron kadai for frying. This is a cast iron kadai I bought from a street vendor from Kolhapur. He was visiting Mumbai and was sitting at the edge of a road, footpath. That's when I bought it. It's always good to support local artisans. It's not an excellent finish like my other cast iron items, but serves the purpose very well. Looks like some water has gone into the oil. Don't know how. Let's test whether the oil is heated enough. Take a little bit of the besan and check. Okay, it is frying and coming up, so it's ready. So now let us put the vadas inside the hot oil. So dip it in the besan and another one. So we should not overcrowd the oil. I'm going to put in only 4 at a time. So allow them to fry nicely from one side, only then turn over. I've set up the colander over here with a tray underneath it so that extra oil may drain out. Okay, the vada looks done well. Now the vada is already cooked inside, so you don't have to, really wait until it gets cooked inside. This is enough. Remove all the extra from the oil, extra bits. Now add the next. I'm going to add only 2 or 3 at a time now. Holding it closer will make sure it is not dripping on other stuff. Oops. So you're also getting to see raw footage of the challenges I face while shooting. Okay, I'm going to allow only 2 at a time. So that is the last batch of vadas frying, and we are done with frying all 9 vadas then. Okay, so the vadas are done and I'm removing it from the oil, and we will allow it to drain until we are ready to eat. But these have to be enjoyed hot. That is the thing. Vadas always have to be enjoyed hot. But also remember that straight out of the kadai is not the kind of hot that you will eat, because it will scald your mouth. So let it cool a bit, about 10 minutes, and then have it with the pav that we have baked. So I've brought the food out onto the balcony to eat. No setup today, just our rustic way of eating, street side way of eating vada pav, and watermelon, again a street side snack. So I will just show you how to fill the vadas. This is mainly for non-Indian audiences. So you break the pav from the middle, and yeah, I know you will say that these don't look like the buns that we get with the vada pav. That is because these pavs are whole wheat, which I have made at home, and I did not make it out of choice, but it was that I didn't have all-purpose flour, so I made it. And another one, and my flat vadas are fitting in perfectly into the vada. And this is my kanda lasun masala, which I use for the vada pav. So I'm going to just add that. This is very spicy, so one has to be very careful while adding kanda lasun masala on top. This is also known as ghati masala, and it is usually served with vada pav. So this is going to be one hot mouthful. And there you see, no green chutney today, no cilantro, so there's no cilantro inside the vada, neither it is outside. So that is what it looks like. Hope you like this video.